Yes. Hey guys, hope you are doing great. Now, like usual, we are just going to jump in, and as we wait for more people to get here, but we're going to be making this here. It's an amazing scene. We can look at how to make some water. Maybe we do the boat and see how things go. Okay, I guess we can just jump in. Turn on shortcuts here. I'll leave them on my left side. And go to EV, set up everything, sky texture. Okay. Let's see. Blue sky. We can even start with some clouds in the background. So let me. Tupo pamoja from Tanzania. Hey. Habari man. My Swahili is a bit limited, but how is TZ, man? How is it? How are you, mitano tena? Okay, let me bring in some clouds. And the back. I like to always start somewhere. Reduce the dust. Okay. Okay. Hey, MTO Creations, you're gonna need to model a bot for your library one of these days. I think I'm going to try and make one today. We'll attempt to do this to make this model here and see. Yeah, for the library. TZ fresh, tupo fresh, nice. Nipo city ya mbele kula darasa. Yeah, the only what I understood there is darasa, which is I think lesson. How to get as a library panel inside for Blender? This is my own add-on. Yeah, thank you MTO Creations. Thank you. Okay, let's do the water here. I'm going to cheat a bit with the water and just look for some, I think, how's it called? How are they called? Caustics. Caustics as a base texture. Maybe just get this and that. Create a water shader. Maybe let's see. This. Trying to see which one would work best. And the great thing about using a caustic texture like this is that we can even use it to create some white form. This has watermarks in it. This is good. Let me just save this. And this. Yeah, maybe that's going to be enough. So let me create a water material here. Just drag in those images. Okay. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and another texture. Hey, this one smaller. Blend the two. Give them some color. I'm going to save this and let's see. Can I search material without this add-on? I don't know. Using the asset browser? I don't think, I don't use the asset browser that much, so I'm not sure. Cartoon Harbor, I think. Is it spelled like that? I'm not sure. Okay. I think we can sample the water directly. Can even use layer weights. Then I'm going to add our caustics on top of this. Make this very reflective. All right. Now we have water. They have some really good materials too. Oh, which what has good materials? Does the asset browser come with materials? I was not aware of that. Okay, let's create this pot. This I don't know how to call this, but just do a simple cube. Give this a solidify. Blender Kit has a ton of materials that are all free. Ah, nice. Okay. And I think I can just duplicate this a few times and also move these pieces slightly just to introduce some variation like that. And I think we can also use an array, get us some wood material. Let me see this. Yeah, something like that. Let's use make it a bit lighter, like in the reference image, just like that. Okay. I guess can create another wood material that's a bit darker. It should be used by these ones here. Okay. Now let's do the legs. I dropped a suggestion on your side to make a bioluminescent forest like Pandora. Yeah, you see, I think I have a problem with that form because I can see the subscriptions, but for some reason I'm not able to find the suggestions. So I have been having a few issues with that. Because I can see that people are subscribing, but I'm not seeing the suggestions. So there must be a problem with the add-on I'm using. So I'll try and see. Thank you for the suggestions. And definitely look into starting on using this the form of the suggestions that you guys are sending. I just can't find them just yet. Been failing to see them. I think we need one that goes across. Okay. And also underwater civilization like Atlantis. Can look into that. I think I need to move my camera a bit closer. And the water also, we might want to give it some depth. So give this a transmission and absorption. You see how the sun is hitting this side? I think we're gonna achieve something like that. Actually, I also want to, let me see the roughness on this. See how much light we have here in this area. I also want that. So let me add an area light. Okay. Maybe increase the sun. Yeah, something like that. Just bring the contrast. Yeah, something like that. When you have these, are you just scaling by what looks good in the frame, or do you try to? It's a bit of both. It's a bit of both. So you can easily estimate what these. I'm not really going off the real world scale in Blender. I'm just trying to make sure that the proportions match. I think that's what matters most. As long as the proportions look right, then for me it doesn't really matter if the scale is super accurate. Okay, let's add this. Actually, I can even just use this. But just tweak it a bit. Gotcha. Nice. Okay, let me apply the solidify and just use box projection. And here I want to use a brick material. Let's see, which one should I use? Let's go with a concrete. Let me try a different material. Floor. Ground. Not sure which brick to use. Maybe this. Yeah, this could work. Has the same pattern. So, yeah. Okay, maybe make it a bit darker. Make the water higher. Oh, the water level? I see. Okay, let me first get this. The water should be around there. Yeah. Though, is it? Okay, it seems the water seems to be low. It's just that this, yeah, around there, I think. Now, another thing we could do is use ambient occlusion, an ambient occlusion mask here. Let me first switch to EV here so that I can enable that. So the ambient occlusion. Okay, that's the height is now okay. Good. Yeah, I want where we have the water connecting. Actually, if it doesn't preview ambient occlusion, very nice. Let's see here. So I want to have a mask for areas where we have contact with the water, so that it kind of creates a bit of shadowing. Maybe something like that. Let's do 32 samples here. Yeah, something like that. Now what that is going to help us is we want to make that area more blue. So to make it seem a bit deep, I think. So I'm just going to mix this. So this is, can get a deeper blue color. Not exactly. Should be a bit dark, I think. That may be less powerful. Okay, let's make one of these houses. So let's do a cube. Give it a brick material. I was not sure which kind of brick. I think this could be, yeah, this looks identical to what we have here. So let me use that. Okay, and we need a roof. I think this is the style is a bit like that, maybe. Like also. So Let's see if I have a roof material. That should be used by this. Just be a simple setup. Something like that. You just add extra roof detail. Just small details like that, I think. Yeah, it's what is going to make this look good. We have some windows that we made from previous videos, so let me use them here. Thank you guys for the 34 likes. Really appreciate that. Okay, let's use some windows here. Okay, I'm going to use this simple this can use a mirror for this. Call this blank or duck. Okay, need a few extra windows. Yo, thank you for subscribing. Yusuf Emre, thank you. By the way, if you want free materials and free models for your library that you can use, you can go to Blender Everything, free models. And you can check out some of the free models that I have there, including this house here. Okay, and I guess I will also be adding this house we have just made here, so. Okay, we need some doors. I do have some doors. Which door should I use? This? Let me see, how does this door look like? Ah, no. Let me see, maybe this? No, let me just go with this. This without the... Yeah. Window should be, the door should be larger than the windows, or at least the same size. So okay, maybe another window around here. Just change the shape a bit for this one. Thank you for subscribing, Omal Batolim. Sorry if I'm butchering your name, but I appreciate that a lot. Okay, so we have another window there. Can I bring these flaps? I'm not sure if those are necessary to bring out, but I think we can also mirror this. Origin to 3D cursor. Just have this mirrored on the Y as well. Make sure that we have it set to bisect, and just mirror this. Okay, one thing you will notice about this scene is that we have a lot of repeated buildings that at least in a similar fashion of similar design. So we only have to design one building, and the rest is going to be much easier. So let me see, what else can we do? We can, because I want, let me see, just add a few extra details. Let me add a door frame. I think it will make this look better. Can also add in these roof details. Let me I should have separated the roof from the rest of the building, so let me do that. Here, Control E, Maxim, and then just select the roof. Use, okay, now it should be separated, because I don't, all these loops in the roof are not necessary. They're just going to make our life much difficult. Thank you, Pinduchok, for subscribing. Appreciate that. Yeah, I want to make these window details. So I'm just going to add, just Shift D, extrude. Yeah, basically something like that. I think this is a bit too wide, so something like that. do you make money from these scenes? What do you mean? I do sometimes sell them on Gumroad. Thank you, Jakub Vega, for subscribing, and thank you, Jonathan CGI for subscribing. Yeah, so I do sometimes sell them on CG Trader or Gumroad, or just give them away on my Patreon. Okay, this is okay. This should use. Thank you, Cornell Deepa for subscribing. Appreciate that as well. Okay, grab this roof. Okay, then add an extrusion area for our window. Is it your job making stuff in Blender or hobby? Right now it's sort of a business to me now, because basically built at least half of my income around Blender. So yeah, it's kind of it's a job. It's like a job, I guess. Hey, there. Now that's the beauty of Blender. There is so many ways you can earn from Blender, and I think I actually have a post about that on the website, which is also another way to monetize Blender. So let me see, do I have that post there? If again you go to the website, let me see, because there are several ways you can turn Blender into at least something sustainable, because just doing it as a hobby, unless if you are kind of rich or coming from a rich family, it's very difficult to just do art without making money from it and do it for a long time. So I would recommend anyone to find a way to monetize your skill, especially, and just try and see if you can make some money out of it, because it can be quite expensive as a hobby, because you have subscriptions you might have to pay if you want to do better work. Hey, Sat Globe, how are you? Glad to see you. Okay. So that's the first house. So let's try and turn it into multiple houses. First thing I'm going to do is make a backup copy of the house in case I need to change it. Let me duplicate it, have a backup collection, turn that off, and now we can grab, let me first apply the mirror object, the mirror modifier for this, and now I can just grab all of this, join it into a single mesh like this, and here's a nice trick to create multiple buildings. Just duplicate. I think I've shown this before. You just add a mirror modifier and use something like an empty. Use an empty as the mirror object. Now, if you rotate this empty 45 degrees, actually I need to, can even move it around. turn on bisect, and you can already see we have a new building. Yeah, that really amazes me. I have been learning it for 2 months and I have no idea which direction to go to. So there is different ways to make money with Blender. You can go for the long-term option or just try and you can go the selling assets, models, asset packs route. Let's see, let me first. Or you can try and get a job in the industry, but that is going to depend on your location. So some countries is much difficult to find a job in the 3D industry than others. So it's going to really depend on where your location is. See if I can have another. Okay. You can see there isn't a lot of variation in these buildings. I can't work at a job in this direction because I'm 15. Maybe you can try selling digital assets. It's good to learn a skill like Blender at an early age. You will never regret it, I think. Learning a skill is something I don't think you can regret. Okay, I want this building here. Let me see. I can just have it like that. Push it back. Maybe scale it down a bit. Just like there. Have another one there. Have this one here. Okay. Let's get some mountains. Okay, let's make a mountain. I like something like this. I'm just going to grab, let me see. Cube. Subdivide it. Maybe subdivide it even further. Turn on proportional editing. I want to create these mountains in the same style as they have. Or a much easier approach is just yeah, let me first try this. Turn on proportion editing. I was thinking of just using. Thank you, Skimpo. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. I'm thinking of just using a height map. But let's do some simple basic sculpting to add in some detail to this. I will have to use the Dino Topo feature to get in some detail. Okay. There's some. If I go at the top here, can basically should be able to make a few other hills. Let me change this to something like 8. So I can paint in more detail. Okay, I think this could work. Yeah, as a mountain structure. Now let's give it some materials. I think we can just first do a cube projection. I'm going to go to my texture folders, look for rock material. Let me see one that is looking a little bit white. Maybe something like this. Yeah. Thank you, Arts and Arts. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. Okay, so this is our rock. I want it to be, let me see, more white. So I'm going to come in here and just, let me see if I can just mix it. Yeah, so the rock can be like that. Hey, thank you, Trickster, for subscribing. Now, we want to mask for the vegetation because we want to have vegetation appear at the top, just at the top only. So I'm going to create a mask, and I'm going to use the object info, is it? No, the geometry node. Confusing with the other geometry nodes, but this is the shaders node. And I want to get the normal direction. So I'm going to use the separate node, get this, and if I use the Z direction, yeah, because you can see the vegetation is only on the parts that are facing directly up. Anything along the slopes doesn't really have any vegetation. Thank you, Berat Ahmetaj, for subscribing. Thank you. So I can use something like a math node with the operation greater than, so that I can basically create a mask of where I want the vegetation to be and where the rocks should be. So I'm going to keep this very simple. So let me look for grass. I'm just importing this image. Basically create a diffuse. And diffuse and blend this is going to be our mask. This should be our grass. I think I have the inverse. So the rock should be where the grass is, and the grass should be where the rock is. Something is not right about this. So no more. Let me look at these materials. Looks a bit funny. So this should be non-color data. So yeah, so and I think I should have more of a, I don't want that gradual cutoff, so let's use a car ramp instead of greater than just to have a smooth transition between the rock. Yeah, something like that. A smoother transition between the rock and everything else. Okay, I think that is getting there. Now, another thing you see is that we have some sort of trees at the top there. So let me find a tree, but I want something light. Tree. I want a tree that is not too heavy. Yeah, this I think. I have this palm tree. It's very, very light. And what I'm going to do is, let me first apply its rotation. I'm basically going to use the same technique that we have used to separate the grass from the rock in geometry nodes to have this tree distributed onto the surface. So let's go to geometry nodes for a bit. I know geometry nodes can be scary, but yeah, if you have watched the last few seconds or few minutes, it should be very easy. So very easy to understand here. So again, we're going to use the same setup like we used in the. We're going to use the same setup like we used for the material. So we need the normal. That we need to separate the X, Y, Z component, basically creating a mask. And we want a color ramp for the Z. Thank you, it's gamer time. Thank you, I appreciate that for subscribing. And I want to distribute points on faces, which is basically going to distribute points on everywhere. But this mask here can help us basically determine where we want those points to be. So you can see, yeah, so only where the green is. So we don't want any plants on the slopes. So those points shouldn't be on the slopes. And I don't want to have that much density. Actually, let me expose this density like that. Thank you, NX Sim, for subscribing. So these particles have replaced the original geometry. Let's bring that back using the join geometry. So I can connect the old geometry, and you can see where our points are. Green is, which is exactly what we want. Like I said, this would be too many points. So let me reduce them. Now what we want to have at this point is this plant here. And actually I can have a copy of this and just have only the weed. Yeah, thank you, Danilo Alexandro, for subscribing. Appreciate that a lot. Okay, so we can have another sort of bush like that, and then this tree. So to bring those in, I'm going to set them up as a collection, call them plants, and you can import a collection by just dragging it in, and we want now each of these points to be a plant by just changing the instances to instance on points. So just going to before we join, so here can bring this collection like that. You need to reset children and everything. So yeah, we have our plants. I also need to pick instance. Okay. We want to randomize the scale, so I'm going to use a random value between 0 point something and 1 or something like that. Thank you, Edwin Hatado, for subscribing. Thank you. So cool. Thank you. Thank you as well. Okay. Thank you, Guisep Voskar. Really? I'm really sorry if I'm butchering your name, but I appreciate that. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Now we can play with the distribution. Actually, I prefer using probability instead of just the density here. So I'm going to bring in, let me just duplicate this random value, Shift D random value, and change this to Boolean, which gives us access to the probability. And I connect that to the selection. This gives us an easier, a smaller slider to work with. So let me expose that, and can easily just change the density. I can even add more particles like that. What else? We need to set a random rotation. So I'm just going to duplicate this random value, change this to vector, connect this to the random rotation, and you can see now some of the plants are rotating in the wrong direction. We mostly want a random rotation for the Z. So let me do 360 like that. Thank you, Boba, and I can't pronounce the name, but I appreciate that. It's also adding some random rotation like that, yeah. So, thank you, Peter C, for subscribing. Appreciate that. Okay, so we have our our mountain with trees and vegetation. Let's see how it looks in the render. Not bad at all. And I actually like the cliff effect. I like that it's making kind of a cliff there. It's nice. I'm going to duplicate it again. And I can even use proportional editing. And the great thing about this is that all of this is procedure. So if I go to sculpt mode, yeah, the UVs might get affected a bit. But if I go to sculpt mode and do turn on Denotopo, which is going to mess up the UVs, unfortunately. But you can still see that our mask is still active. Can basically make changes to this, and I would have to UV unwrap this, but since this is cube projection, it should be quite easy to do. Thank you, Leven, for subscribing. Appreciate it. Scale this up. If you turn on proportional editing, let me first turn off this and just edit this a bit. You can see that everything updates. I'm feeding the vertices. Thank you, Marco, for subscribing. Appreciate that. Really appreciate that. And also appreciate the 88 likes. Amazing. Geometry nodes seems to be very useful. Yeah, true. I think it's one of the best addition to Blender in a while. So I think some of the best additions to Blender, I think, according to me, is, in my opinion, Cycles was a good addition. Changed the entire game. Eevee was also changed a lot. Changed things a lot as well. Yeah, still designing the cliff here. then geometry nodes. I think those three were big changes, and Blender has never been the same after those changes, which is nice. Okay, this one we need to smoothen out some areas. Now maybe bring in more green. So let me go back to the setup here. Bring in more green. Hey Zigzag, how are you? How are you doing? Let me add more density to this. Think, let me see. These clouds should be behind. Oh, looks amazing already. Thank you, S Movies. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Thank you, Dennis Naus, for subscribing. Thank you, thank you. I need to make this roof more red, like in the reference image. Thank you, Bruno Area, for subscribing. I appreciate that. And Marco L, I think might have missed the subscription, but I appreciate that as well. I'm going to change this brick a bit because it looks a bit. Let me see. Well, how did you make these clouds? The clouds are just an image on a plane. And actually might want to add another cloud in front. Let's also add some volumetric fog. You know, this doesn't have to be too much. Okay, we also need more buildings, and another thing we could do is, if I have a plane like this, I can basically just copy the modifiers onto that plane, which is going to copy this geometry nodes modifier, and we'll basically have a way to place trees. So Control L, copy modifiers, and that should give me a plane with trees. I can go back to the geometry nodes. I don't want the plane to show, so I'll just not connect it. I need to make sure that this one has its own separate node, so only, yeah, like that. Now I have these that I can start putting in between these buildings. We also did make other buildings from different streams, so let's get those. I think I have them under medieval buildings. I like this shop here, kind of changes things a bit, so let me add that. Just something different. Okay. Maybe this water, we might want to make it a bit more blue. Okay, something like that. I don't want to have this much direct sun, so maybe let me raise the elevation a bit. Uh, 0.3. Okay. Another trick that I would like to show you is that let's look at this. You can see we're using trees, but we can also use plants. We can use buildings to replace trees. So I'm just going to duplicate this and go back to geometry nodes and expose. You see, we have a collection here that we imported in for the plants. I'm going to expose this parameter so that I can change what comes up here. So, and also another thing I could do is change the random scale here, or expose the random scale, minimum scale, and random scale like that. Okay, so since we have this option to change the collection, I can come in here. Now just select the different buildings we created and just do have them in a collection called buildings. And I also want some small buildings, so let me grab this, see how I can make it small. You know what, we already have some extra buildings, so we can go to the, was it this? Yeah, I think it's this. I can now switch out the plants for the buildings, and we have our buildings. I can bring down the probability or bring down the density and make the surface more flatter. And I basically have an island with some buildings like that. And we can even be more fancy and just duplicate these geometry nodes and basically layer this up with the plants. Let me increase the scale of the plants. Yeah, so now we have a small village with plants and trees. Going to expose this seed because I don't want the plants to be in the same position as our buildings. Now, one thing I want to do, maybe even expose the random rotation. Those would be too many parameters, but that's okay. Let me just, because I'm seeing some of the buildings are being rotated in the wrong direction, so I don't want any rotation on the X. But yeah. Okay. So we can have this village. Yeah, something like that. Let's play with the rotation of the sun a bit. Hey, hello, how are you? Wow, 111 likes. Thank you guys. Thank you. Okay, some of our buildings lack some bit of detail. But let's see. Thank you for subscribing as well. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name, but I appreciate that. Let's see. Have this arch. So I'm just going to start going in and add small details that I think are going to make this look wonderful. There's arch door. Maybe another wall. go to my building parts collection, see if I have any interesting stuff in there. As I'm always trying to grow my collection. Maybe a horse. I don't know. Because right now... Why? Okay. Why is this not what I expected? Anyway. I'm putting this flag, maybe somewhere there, another one there. Hey Joe, how are you? Okay, I think this has to be a bit thicker. You good? Good to know, good to know, good. Great, that's great to hear. As you can see, I'm just trying to find other stuff to add in here. Let's see, pipes. Yeah, I think we could do some pipes running along this. It wouldn't hurt. Just some maybe some wires as well, and on that kind, and that. How do you make clouds look realistic? So in this one, I'm just using a plane with the text of a cloud. So, but realistic clouds, you can try using, what is it called? You can try using, I'm forgetting, volumetric clouds, but they're really render intensive. So you need a beefy PC to be able to pull them off. That's why I don't use them that often. Okay, I need some sort of, VDB, or you can create them from from an external application like Embergen. You can use an external application like Embergen, and I should trying to add some interesting characteristics to this city. What GPU and DPU do you have? Yeah, thank you, Joe, for the specs. Yeah, that's that should show you the specs I'm using. Okay, let's try making this bot. Maybe see if we can do it in a reasonable time frame. So, how do we approach a bot like this? It's not going to be an easy task, but let's try. Okay. Thank you, Stifler, for subscribing. Appreciate it. Wait, what? It's worse than mine, but I feel like my PC is dying every time I win that project. Yeah, so my specs are not the best, but I've learned to work within the limits. So I know what would break my PC and what my PC can handle. So yeah, sometimes it's just getting better at understanding your PC. So I choose projects very, very carefully, and also I've started to learn a few tricks that I could use, that I use to make my project less heavy. Okay, let's do. Let's do. I think if we get this part, the rest should be much easier. So I think this arches up a bit, and so thick board. Thank you, Somnath Hain, for subscribing. Appreciate that. I donate. There is no command for donating. For I donate. I'm not sure. Okay. How long have you been using Blender? About 10 years, I think. About 10 years. Okay, so let's do the top part. I think I can just so a shape like this would require quite a lot of time. I'm from Uganda, East Africa. But let's see. Yes. So good. When I started Blender first, I was following your real-time lecture, but stopped in 10 minutes because I don't know what you did. Which one was that? What was I making that challenged you? Let's give this a wood material. There is quite a lot of detail on this boat, so yeah, I'm not sure if we would be able to make it, but we just want something that looks like a boat in our scene. Use Q project. Okay, this is not a bad starting point. What can I contribute? What I can contribute? Don't limit your art by the hardware. You can create wonderful art with limited tools. Like, it's like photography. More expensive cameras don't necessarily make you a better pictures. Yeah, true. That is true. Okay. Actually, let me see. Let me see what kind of details make this boat look good. So let me see if I insert this. Thank you, MSW, for subscribing. I appreciate that. Okay. We need places for these guns. So let me add a loop around here. So we need maybe another subdivision here. How long does it take? To get used to? That depends on you, man. I don't think anyone can answer that for you. That is always going to depend on you, how much time you put into practice. Okay. Hey, thank you for the $1, 1.5 or $2. Thank you for that. Sorry, I can't read the name, but I really appreciate the support. Any support you can give is much appreciated. Good lecture free. Yeah, I also love hanging out with you guys. It's how I entertain myself. It's kind of relaxing. Okay, we're seeing some detail now. Do you think that if I fully sit and watch your streams will help me learn Blender? I can't really answer that for you, but I would hope so, because that's why I do them, so that maybe they can be useful. Three months ago, Job, but now I follow your work. Nice, great. So you have learned a few things. That's great. Dude, if you're talking about the basics of Blender, it can be easy, be learning with a couple of weeks or for some whole week. Yeah, just get a few tutorials and you'll be good to go. Thank you, Amul Bhatia, for subscribing. I appreciate that. Okay, I need to create these frame details, and I think I need another board for this. So I'm going to use Shift D. Just come here. Use the wireframe. No. Is it the wireframe? No. The skin modifier. It's a bit heavy. Actually, I shouldn't have used it. It's going to freeze up everything. So let me be prepared to just end Blender so that it doesn't crash. But actually, let me just end Blender there, just restart it. Hey Bobby Alex, how are you? How are you doing? Okay, let's go to the cartoon, go back here, save again. Do you make your YouTube banner yourself? Yes. I don't even remember how that one looks. You mean the one for this channel? Let me see. Do I remember how it? Oh yeah. This was actually I think there is a time lapse of how I made this. If you want to check it out. Can you do CGI tutorials? Always wanted to make visual art like Star Wars. Yeah, but those are usually computer intensive. Okay, have I lost some stuff? Oh, okay. Let's go back to our bot. And actually, I can have a copy of it. Yes. I think I need to move my camera a bit to the left. Yeah, because I want to see the bot as well. So let me... Thank you for subscribing. This one should be shorter. Thank you for subscribing, Elefson. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Something is making this a bit heavy. Hello, man. How can you hard object modeling? How can you make hard surface modeling? Is that what you're asking? I think I have a tutorial series on that. It's not something I can explain in a short time frame here. Okay, let me bring this and bring our bot here. Crash alert. Maybe we should do a crash counter, because I think Blender crashes every time, at least once every time I stream, which is okay because it restarts quite easily. The caustics on the water are textures. Yeah, so simple texture. Yeah, you have the board. I think it's a bit too big. Yeah, let's add, I think the guns are what going to make this look like an actual boat. So let's put a few. Just need a simple cylinder. We need a metal material. a question. Do you have interesting about this? Do you have interesting about cartoon style? No, like Disney, but Korea webtoon. Oh, you mean like anime? Korea webtoon. Let me see what that looks like. Ah. Huh. This is a difficult style, I think, to capture in Blender. Is quite hard, I think. Just want a metal material to use here. Yeah, that looks a bit difficult to do in, unless maybe if you use something like Gliss Pencil. Maybe. Let me add these guns. And thank you, Deadpool, for subscribing. I think I missed that. I appreciate it. And I also appreciate the 144 likes. I really love the engagement on that. But if you're new here, and it would be amazing if you said something in the chat, just to know you're here. 145. Thank you, it's movies. Thank you guys for liking. 146 now. 147. Thank you. You flattering me. Thank you. So, okay. 148. We haven't got there yet, but I will get there. Okay, I want to add, I think this detail here is going to help, but making it is a bit, okay, I think if I need to create an arc here. Trying to find an easier way to create this detail. Someone removed it. We'll get there. Okay, let's create another wooden material. Assign, but this one we want it to have some color, so let me add a mix. You are also struggle with that, so yeah, it's something very difficult to do. I think it's not very easy to do in Blender. That's why you don't see a lot of tutorials about it, I think. Okay, I want to create that purple look. So okay. Now we need to create some windows. Just small detail like this. We don't have to be too detailed. We just need something to work with. I think it's easier with glaze pencil and the tablet. Yeah, that's what I was also thinking. Maybe glaze pencil, but trying to do that in the ordinary way, that could be a bit hard. Thank you, Claire Lewis, for subscribing. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Okay, we need some sort of curtains. Let me see if I have anything here. No? I just Google curtain. Do you have Discord? Yes, I do. You can use exclamation mark Discord. Is in the board but wider at the bottom in the reference? Oh, yeah, I think that's because most of it is underwater. We can do that as well. I'm going to get this. I think this would give us some good detail without putting in too much work. So let me grab this. Create a new material. Let me call this curtain, and then I can just import in this image. I like that Blender now supports this format of image, the WebP format, because before you had to go to Photoshop to make this work. Okay, let me grab these, unwrap. Curtains. Hopefully that's enough detail for that. Let's see. We need to add in some. Okay, yeah, you said the bot is a bit wider at the bottom. Let me see, maybe do it like that. Now maybe add in some deco as well. And this top here also has some deco, I think. So let's see how. Yeah, I think that's starting to look. Maybe this has to be a bit brighter. Add these towers. And first apply the mirror for a bit so that this is much easier. extrude this. Okay. Okay, let's add some extra details. Yes, trying to push in as much detail I can do. And I think they also have this sort of web thing going on. Let me see. And the okay, have this sort of web. You just need a wireframe. Apply the array, just turn on proportion editing. I think it's something like that. Then mirrored. Hey Raj the gamer, how are you? I'm okay myself. Glad to see you. Glad to see you joining us. How so low performance? But are you asking me? I'm not sure. My specs is a 3080 and a 180 GB, but my Blender performance is a GTX 960. Wow. Maybe you're doing some really heavy stuff. What are you trying to make when you are using Blender? You might be running some really heavy stuff. Let's do a cube project. Nice. Okay, also need some teas. Something like that, and maybe How about that for a boat? Okay. I think I just going to have to move this to the center. Call this bot. Now we should just instance the bot instead of using this. Let's just instance the bot. I need, where's my bot? Hi, I have a question. Did you feel shy when you started content creation? I don't know about feeling shy because I was experimenting a lot. So I don't think I had any issues talking. I didn't have any issues, I think. I just jumped in. I know if it didn't work out, well, then it doesn't work out. I didn't really care that much about it. I don't know how to explain it. I just jumped in. And another thing is that you only most of the time I'm just streaming without a mic, so yeah, I don't think that. Yeah, how do I put it up? English is not my first language, so you can see me struggling with words. But anyway, okay. So this is our bot. Could be made better, but for the time we want to spend on this, I'm okay with this one. I'm okay with this. Maybe just add in a few extra details. Yeah, this can pass as a bot. Doesn't have as many details as I would want, but for the amount of time we spent on this, yeah, this should pass. Maybe let's add a flag on top of this, and a flag on these. Do I have a flag? It renders on 5,000 samples. No, I don't. So though these are the maximum samples, I usually set a time limit of about mostly about 5 minutes. So that means that I don't render out all these samples. Usually 5 minutes is enough to get enough samples to denoise, and the image looks good enough. But in the viewport, I'm using 1024. I figured something out now. I think I will make an asset path with like 30 different characters and sell that comic style. Nice. That's that would also be good. Great. Okay. What was I making? Forget. Flag. Use 100. 100 samples, is that enough? That sounds like a very low. Have this flag here. Let me change this. Okay, so this all goes in the bot collection. Then now we should instance our bots. I was thinking about a way to make money and in which direction I want to go. I did a tutorial about a little astronaut today and in this exact style. Nice. Yeah, I think I'm happy with the bots, at least with how it came out. Let me also bring these I'm just going to do away with this ambient occlusion thing. It's not really working out. But what I want is these caustics to be more. Do you know sculpting? I know some basic sculpting, but I'm not like an expert, if that's what you're asking. I am not an expert at that. Okay, some areas need some bit of shadow, so let's see what we can do. I like just grabbing random objects and scaling them up to create interesting shadows. Yeah, I think something like that makes it seem like there is a boat around here. I've rendered a scene on 256, 100, and it looks the same. Yeah, sometimes more samples doesn't really add much to your scene, so that's. But it depends also on the scene you're creating. This flag is a bit too high. Let's add in some more interesting buildings. Wasn't intending to open that. Just trying to add this to the scene. Rotate 180. Yeah, just adding some better detailed buildings. Do you remember Yota Tasaki? Blender work, and you remake one of his videos? They're amazing. Let me see. I don't think I remember who that is. Yota Tasaki. Ah. That's quite amazing stuff. Nice. And he uses Blender as well. Nice. Thank you, Christian Puzon. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that. Let's add some people in the background. Just give them different poses. Let's bring in a market. I think we did a market cart, I think. How did I call this? Don't remember. Let's see. Maybe you can even have a boat way out there. Have another boat. Back there. Hey Kapil, how are you? We missed you. How have you been? Do you think it's looking realistic? Can you give me feedback on it, but helpful? Do you post anything in the Discord, maybe? Is that what you're asking me to give feedback on? Or are you talking to someone else? Let? Ah, man. Yeah, thank you. Hello, Sam VFX. How are you doing? Thank you, Imagine, for subscribing. Appreciate that. Raj, yeah, I've seen this, and I think I've done a lot of comments on this on stream. But yeah, it looks amazing, especially your rendering really looks superb. Really looks good. And the lighting, you really nailed it. Oh, what we can add is this white water here. That white water, I think we can get away with if we have a cube, because I don't want to use textures. Can just subdivide this. Give it a displacement. Yeah, something of the sort. Trying to see if I can fake this water. Let me see, turn on proportional editing here, just scale this. Just give this a white material like that. Maybe if it's visible, but then we can also bring this and use it as a wave. A wave hitting the barrier. May render nicely, may not. Let's just experiment a bit and see. Yeah, in this small view, it looks fine. I'm not sure how it will look. I've done this for the client. That is why I'm asking you questions relating to it last week. I think it looks good. It looks good. Have you gotten any comments from your client? Oh, guys, thank you for the 171 likes. Appreciate that. Doing great. Nice. You didn't get the notification? Yeah, sometimes YouTube does that. I'm not sure why. Sometimes they will send out notifications, sometimes they will not. But hey, Jonathan Musle, thank you. Appreciate it. Let's make this boat a bit bigger. I add in some wood. Do I have wood? Yeah, I have this pile of wood. I think right now we just need to populate the scene with more stuff. Can just add a pile of this wood. Let's see. Maybe even add this boat in. This maybe another one of these crates floating on the water, and maybe also one of these barrels floating on water. Let's see, what else can we do? Let's see. Do I have a bag? I have these sandbags. It's like it's merchandise. Or why can't I? I don't have it properly linked, which is unfortunate. Anyway. I had done this for okay, sorry. Thought I had answered. Have these power lines. Add some wires on them. It was my first project done in Blender. There was a lot of pressure, and he confused me. Like when I made real, he was asking why there is a shine on the product, and he wanted me to even edit it in Photoshop. Totally a good experience. Learn many things and understand how to work with an application project. It's nice that you got some experience, but sometimes the clients are also equally as confused. They don't really know what they want. They can ask for changes constantly. So, but it's good to learn to deal with clients so that you know what to expect. Thank you, Alex, for subscribing. I appreciate that. Let's see how things look now. Added a few wires. Yeah, don't seem like they are connecting correctly. Okay. Can you show us your projects someday, which you have done for clients? Well, if they're client projects, I can't really show them unless the client allows it. But it's been a while since I did a client project. I just have too much going on to handle clients. I think we need more people. Maybe this guy seated. Maybe can have him seated. Or did you have ever signed an? Nah, I've not signed an NDA, but yeah, actually, I have signed NDAs for some projects, but yeah, it's been a while since I worked with a client. I guess you have to take out a lot of time and yeah. What is your end goal with all these Disney fantasy things? Most of them, some of the projects I make are usually requested by Patreons. So they maybe are looking for a specific style like this. So they request them on Patreon and I do them here on the live stream. Some of them are usually watching and they want to see the progress. So that's one reason. But I also enjoy just making stuff like this. Yes. Just want a bunch of I was scared about it the first time at first, but I did sign of some of other person instead of my sign. Okay, let's see. Just looking for other stuff I could add in here. What do you guys think we can add in here? Let me see. If I go to my decos pack, should have some interesting stuff. Satellite. This wheel. It's not going to add much. Most of these don't fit the same aesthetic. Let's see, we have boats. Okay, let me use my quick functions. Add on to just play with the colors and see what we're getting, what we can get. By the way, let me, why is Blender freezing? Running out of memory. I thank you for the 183 likes. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Okay. And it's still freezing. I don't want to close it right now. Let me just give it a moment. And let me just end it maybe. Okay. Okay, what do we add in here? Oh, by the way, God, everything is slowing down because we need to have a little bit more objects here. Maybe let me reuse some of these barrels just to break up some of those parts. And I think I'm going to go into my, let me check my medieval collection, see if I have any interesting stuff there. I have this like burnt building. Maybe I can have half of it in the water. Just and thank you for being around, Raj. I appreciate it. And just use a wood material. By the way, if you are struggling with procedural materials or with materials, you can get the Ducky 3D's procedural materials. All links are in the description. Not sure why the internet is a bit slow to show that, but let's see. I think I need to close some of my Chrome tabs because it's what is slowing down everything, I think. Yeah, like I was saying, if you are having trouble with materials, you can get Ducky 3D's real-time materials, which are all procedural, and you can just drag and drop into your scene and make use of over 270 realistic materials with free updates. So yeah, that's an add-on that you can get. Links are in the description. You can also get human generator. So for example, here we're trying to add in characters here, but because I don't have a lot of characters, you can start to see them repeating a bit. But a human generator has a lot of procedural. It's also a library of customizable characters, semi-procedural, so you can change a lot of stuff about them, their drawing, their dressing, and they also come with a pose library. You can have facial rigs, and they also can be rigged, animated in the face. The clothes can be easily changed. Links are in the description. And finally, we have the vegetation add-on, which is also a library of vegetation. Basically, these are all libraries for stuff that takes a lot of time to generate or to create in Blender. So these libraries make it faster for you to create your scenes without spending hours and hours just creating a tree or plant. What kind of clothing do they have? Where they basic clothing, so they can really do very well. I think they have a video here, a demo video that you can look into if you are if you are interested in that. But they basically work like as a library. You can see how easily it makes it possible for me to create scenes like this in no time. Yeah, can you generate like an alien or something like that, or fantasy character? With the add-on, I'm not sure. I think they are limited to human characters. I don't know about fantasies. Hello, Andreas. Zinc, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. And thank you for 193 likes. Appreciate that as well. I want to break up this area here. Let me see what I can add. I can use this. Just add some interesting stuff in here just to make things look more interesting. I think it's a good deal. Let's see. Yeah, I think it is. Hello, Limget. How are you? Let's play with the contrast. I want the sky to be a bit different as well. Oh, maybe make the sheep a bit smaller so we can see the sheep that we have at the back here. Maybe bring that Let me try a much wider angle. Let's try a 20 millimeter so that we can see a lot more. Maybe this one, I want it to seem like it's way far out there. This scene reminds me of the Amalfi Coast in Italy. Stunning job. Thank you, thank you. Let me compare them and see. Amalfi. It's giving me tropical vibes at the game. Tropical. Is it called Tropical? Or am I thinking of a different game? Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate it. Thank you, CR, for subscribing as well. Appreciate it as well. Need to bring... Maybe these are fishing areas. Okay, that would be too much. Wouldn't want them to take away from the entire scene, so maybe something like that. Let me try making these more transparent. Transparent. They're more bluey. The water is so good. Thank you, thank you. We need some volume to separate the background from the foreground. So let's add that. Think this is I need to add more density. Let's go back to 25. some interesting shadow. I think I like dark shadow better. What is this shadow in the water? I saw this. Yeah, quote me changing the shadow there. I think the characters look too repeated. Maybe because they're facing the same direction or something. So at least maybe let me remove some. Maybe someone sitting on the pier near the barrel at the bottom, and someone sleeping there. Oh, okay. Let me see. Have this guy seated. You can sit at the edge there. Maybe he's fishing or something. So around there. Now I can also grab another guy. Maybe this one is checking on the wine, see if it's ready for shipping. What's your? I'm using cycles. 199 likes. Thank you guys. Thank you. Okay, Blender is freezing again. But I think we are at finished product. Maybe. There is a denoiser. Okay. Thank you, Jimmy Pedersen, subscribing. I appreciate that. And play with the colors a bit here. Think I need to have this guy seated somewhere else. In the close-up, he doesn't look super realistic, so maybe seated in the boat. And one other thing I could do is add some light on this boat behind here. So just going to grab an area light, rotate it. Change the spread to something like 90. Let's see. Just give it a bright spot, maybe. The reference image is closer to blue, but yours is closer to green. Yeah, the water is really hard to change to a different color and making it look good. So maybe let me try this. Thank you for subscribing. I am something. Sorry, I can't name you. I can't read the name. Really, but I appreciate subscribing. Yeah, getting the water to look that color is not the exact color is kind of difficult. So yeah, but our port is starting to look busier. And thank you, Zigon Sky, for subscribing. Appreciate that. Let's see. We made some tents in the previous stream. I guess I didn't add them to the library. Did I even render that out at the previous stream? Let me see. I don't think I rendered that out. Yeah, this one was a different project. What do you guys think we can add in here? What else do you think we can add in here? Okay. I don't think these waves are going to look very good in the final piece, so let me just remove them and yeah. Bro, I bought a graphics tablet, bit scared and excited. I have never had one before. Nice, nice. Did you get the one with a screen or just the canvas? Which one did you get? Which version? Then I just crashed again. But make sure you use it because I bought mine I think 5 or 6 years ago, but I've only used it like 3 times. the what? Thank you, Jasper, for subscribing. Appreciate that. Are you good? The Huion Canvas Pro. Let's see. Non-screen. It is the older model and came with a non-screen one for free. Oh, so you bought one and got two? Is that what you mean? Yeah, I must make use of it, but I need more more table space. Yeah, it takes up a lot of space. And remember, you have to have a keyboard as well, so you need a very wider table for that. It looks also big. Is it this exact one, the 2019 version, or? I bet that feeling get faded soon, bro. The feeling of what? I think I missed your message. Let's look at this from different angles and see. Okay, I think this works from this angle as well. And since we have this village, can just have it there in the back. Yes, but not sure. It's 2019. It was at 800 and now 360. Oh, that's a steal. Have you done anything with it, or you're still waiting? Test out with something and share it, man. Can you suggest PC specs for 3D artists? Yeah, I think you need at least a 1060. But I always worked with lesser specs and money to do something with it. So whatever you get, whatever you can afford, try using that. Try using that, and when you can afford something better, you can upgrade. Sometimes you really don't have a choice but to use what you got. I want to extend this village, so let me grab these, just repeat them, repeat this. And let me get another boat here. Yeah, so basically we can view this in different angles and still have something to look at. Look at our boat there. Let's see the scene from the boat doesn't hold up at close-ups, but yeah, that's all right. Something we did quite easily. I'm using a Cintiq 22 Pro, but this device heating is free. It's killing me now. It heats up. Let me see. What is Cintiq 22 Pro? It heats up too much. Yeah. Thank you, BW Animations, for subscribing. Appreciate that. And thank you guys for the 210 likes. Amazing. You guys are the G. Is our home? Yeah, let me see. My work home, was it Wacom 1? Those old ones. I think it's even a generation lower than this. I think this is a stupid one. Maybe it's not that bad. I've only used it a few times. Cintiq looks amazing. If they heat up, maybe if they heat up, just get like 4 and you'll have free heating. I mean, we are in an energy crisis, so you can save whatever you can. Thank you. And noise, they come with fans, because this one is very simple. You might not even think it's an electronic, because it's quite simple. You might think it's a cutting board. Thank you, Danescu, for subscribing. I appreciate that. Let me try one thing. Let me duplicate this. Just up the density maybe to 0.5 and just make the sun really heavy. 0.1. 0.01. Let me hide this. I want to .05. Now let's do 0.1 and basically just grab an area light like on this side. I need in Xmas. It gets cold here. Yeah, buy a second one and you'll have free heating. I guess it's not free if you bought it, but trying out this volumetrics. Let's see. Let's see, I don't want all of the back to be in volume, so let's make that fade out a bit and maybe, yeah, so we can see part of our, actually let me reduce this even further, remove the volume even further so that we can see our mountains better. What do you do now, top channels? Show me the node again, please. I went to the bathroom. Okay, I've done a few things. What in particular do you want to see? So basically what I did is just increase the density, which if I do this, it makes it, yeah, it creates a lot of volumetrics. Creates a lot of volumetrics. Yeah, I think there is even a story to tell here. Have a ship, have some guys on the boat, have this guy parking, have some people scattered everywhere. Maybe let me grab this. Come here, rotate this. Sometimes it's great to have repeating detail. How did you make the fog effect? The fog effects is just a cube like this. So let me first hide everything. So it's basically a cube with a principal shader, with a principal volume. So you remove the principal shader and replace it with a principal volume. Where is my material output? Yeah, you just remove this and replace it with a principal volume. And density is always too high. You just have to put it to something like 0.01, and you have your volume like that. Yeah, I think I'm going to give this a render and call this a night for me. Maybe watch a movie or something. But yeah. Thank you guys for showing up. Hope you have a great. What is today? Today is a Monday. I was forgetting. Have yourself a good Monday or Tuesday or Sunday, whatever time frame you are in. Funrun is getting better than the reference. Thank you. That is always the hope. This image really looks fantastic, I must say. I guess I should leave. I forgot. I get distracted a lot. So you're saying the scene looked like, gave you these vibes, the Amalfi vibes. It's a nice spot. Love the stream. Thank you, Kiss. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's kind of has that look, especially this. The reference does really look like that. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to end this stream here, and see you